That was the one. It's Ice Cave Guy. You have to have the Ice Cave one, Kale.
No, I need to defend myself. You said first video you sent me, and that was at the top of the list.
Oh my gosh, man. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the DNVR Nuggets podcast. There it is. Excitement, lasers, bald eagle, everything is coming in hot. I'm your host, Adam Mattis. I'm joined by the man with the wind in his hair, the one that's called the handsome one, Harrison Wind.
Vote is number one on my DNVR power rankings right now. He is the only one who recognized the new background. And he was the last one to pop on the stream when we were in the pre-show planning. So, Vote, I love you today. I love you today, Vote.
I got you, brother. I recognize, man. I know what the secret sauce is around here.
All right, game recognized game. It's Brennan Vote.
What's up, fellas? Did anyone see the snow? It snowed outside today.
It did
Lots
snow,
of it.
Man. Snowy Colorado, which is appropriate because we have Ice Cave Guy on, which is, I think,
perfect.
I guess that makes kind of a little bit of sense. And then, of course, we've got the guy you know as D-Line Co. It's D-Line Co.
When I absolutely recognize your GD background. I was doing other things when Vote apparently recognized it for the first time.
Vote was the first one. Vote
put some
was and
respect
will
on my
forever
name,
be the
bro.
first one.
Put some respect on my name.
We've got an incredible show today, guys. Very excited for this one. Very, very excited because in the second half of the show, the headline of today's show is that we're going to power rank the Western Conference. We spent all this time talking about the Denver Nuggets and what they did in the offseason. The rest of the Western Conference, I think there's some teams that definitely got better, and maybe that tier 2 where the Denver Nuggets found themselves last year got a little more crowded. That's kind of how I would describe it. So we're going to power rank and find out where the Denver Nuggets rank right now, in our opinion, in the Western Conference. But in the first half, we have a very exciting, very unique edition of Serbian Corner. This time, not with Miroslav, with Ice Cave Guy. Everybody, please welcome into the show.
Wow.
Mislav, or Ice Cave Guy. I'm sorry, we're just going to refer to you as Ice Cave Guy.
Yeah. This is Ice Cave Guy.
What's going on, Ice Cave Guy?
Hello. So first, call me Ice Cave Guy. I'm trying to disassociate myself from Miroslav Chuk. We are not related at all. He is from Serbia. I'm from Croatia. So.
What? Do I need to make it? Should it be Croatian corner? Do I need to make a new
corner?
Okay,
Eastern European corner.
we like to call ourselves Central European corner. My God, that's like 2 PC offense already. I can find first Serbian corner, then Eastern European guys. And then the biggest one is Adam said, the main part of the episode will do the power rankings. No, this is the main.
I said the second. I said the second part. I didn't say the main part. I said the second. We put you first. First is priority.
I had no idea you were Croatian.
No, me either. This is like if we would go on a show and they play the Canadian anthem. They're like, look. But you know what, though? We don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, actually, I like this comment here. It's actually the Ice Cave show featuring the DNBA guys.
We know why all the viewers are here right now. But we know why. It's not for us. It's definitely not for us.
So before we get into this, it is, you have to admit, a little bit of a coincidence that we have the homie Miroslav Chuk, and now we have Mislav Chuk. That's ridiculous that we have two fans.
And they're not related?
In our universe, and the names are so... Mislav and Miroslav, tell us, is this like Robert and Rob? What is this?
No. Mislav is a Croatian name. We also have Miroslav in Croatia and in Serbia, but Mislav is specifically Croatian name, and it's quite similar. What else I wanted to say? Well, I forgot.
How popular of a last name is Chuk?
Okay. In Croatia, there is 3,000 or 4,000 Chuks, and Chuk actually means little owl.
Wow!
Yeah.
Holy shnikey! I gotta write this down.
Which is coincidentally, that's how I would describe you to my friend.
Today on Birdman, we need to add a little Chuk to this here. So people that maybe don't know, Kale, you can pull up. Well, now I'm afraid that if these came in different order, I'm afraid which one to tell you. I think first the Ice Cave video. If you and hold off on 1 second because I think it has audio. To set the stage, we got a comment from a commenter a year ago, roughly. I think it was a year ago, and it was a guy watching the DNVR Nuggets video that we had made inside of an ice cave.
It stood out to me.
It stood out. It stood out a little bit. Kel, you go ahead and play this video here. Well, there it is. There is a look inside of. I thought we had more photos and stuff that I had sent you.
And you sent us one. There was a movie screen in there, like a projector, and you had the DNBA show up, and it blew my mind. I have to say, I'm sure we'll get there. I'm very, very, very disappointed to learn that you don't actually live in an ice cave.
I know, what a disappointment. And you don't live in Serbia.
I
Scrap the show.
So long story short, there's a guy who has some sort of access to to an ice cave in which he'd watch Nuggets games, and we just end up chatting from there. So tell us, what's the origin story of Ice Cave Guy?
Oh, before, I have an old Twitter account. I'm a Nuggets fan from 2004, and I didn't have anybody to talk about because, there is no Nuggets connections with Croatia, and I reached out to Adam in 2018 or something. I sent him a very poor tweet, man, I need to talk some Nuggets stuff. I don't have anybody. You're the only guy that speaks Nuggets stuff. I need to tell you something, And Adam actually reached out to me. He sent me a message I can join this community and discuss. So thank you, Adam. And now for the Ice Cave Guy origin. Okay, so I'm from Croatia, but I work winter seasons in Lapland. And I don't know if you can see by this photo, but I'm 6'8".
Oh wow!
Yeah, not a little owl.
I did not know that.
Not a little owl.
Not a little owl.
Not a little owl at all.
A little big owl. And then
You're more like an ice cave giant.
yeah.
Living in a cave is amazing.
And I can still keep the ICG, ice cave giant.
Ice cave giant.
I can still brand myself like that. And so I was working winter seasons first as a Christmas elf. That's why
I don't buy you as an elf. I'm gonna keep it real. Can you imagine going to a mall and the elf's a foot taller than Santa?
My children are just terrified the whole time. You picture
quaking.
So I was working summer seasons in Croatia. We are popular destination from April until September, and then if you want to stay in tourism, there's not much thing to do. So I was just googling random stuff like winter jobs abroad, winter season, blah blah. And I saw the ad for the Christmas elf, and I applied for that out of a joke. And I forgot about that. They called me in 1 month and dude, we want you, come here.
Dude, you are exactly what we had in mind.
We have it.
Here we have some video now. Yeah, I was able to pull it up from your account here. So we have, this theater, this ice cave is kind of luxurious, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Were you watching Laker highlights in the ice cave?
No, I didn't only try to impress you guys. I had this is NBA BAU, the announcer for Top 10 guy, So I sent him this video that I'm watching his highlights on this screen. I also did, if you remember the show, The Starters.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, and even if you remember, they had a fan mail where you can send them photos with you holding the sign with the Starters on it. And I took the photo with Santa, holding the Starters logo. And they also retweeted me. So I'm
you're famous everywhere.
I'm famous. Even the
Mislav, what is the ice cave?
Okay, so in Lapland there is a snow village. It's an ice hotel, let's say. We have ice restaurant, ice bar, and ice rooms igloos, and people can spend the night there in the ice beds in igloos. And I was working there a few different things, but often I did the night shift. So night receptionist, I basically just need to be there and try to stay awake and do some stuff. And to stay awake, I was watching Nuggets stuff. Nugget stuff and NBA games, sometimes I don't know if I'm an NBA fan because I like to be up at the night, or I'm up at night because I like NBA. If I come to America, I don't know, like if the NBA games are like in normal time, I don't know what would I do in the 3 a.m.
This comment from Evan McKee here is like the first thing I thought when you sent me that video. Really says something that this guy can watch the Nuggets play in an ice cave on the other side of the world, but Nuggets fans can't watch it on altitude.
Oh my God, it's so true.
It's so true.
Oh, that's so ridiculous. But look, we got the DNVR. Remember when we did this video? Look at how young Vote looks, man. This year's been
man. That was before the pandemic.
How do you look older and younger in that photo?
I know somehow I do. I have an Anderson Cooper kind
of. That was from Media Day this year, right?
That was Media Day this year. We got a little take that L on the way out. So. All right. So, how did you become a Denver Nuggets fan? What's the story there?
Okay, so 2003-2004 season. It was the season when Melo and LeBron were main rookies, and a lot of people even now say that Melo actually won that rookie battle, although LeBron won the Rookie of the Year award because he had the narrative. And then in 2004 Olympics. LeBron and Melo were like the up-and-coming stars of the USA team. And all of my basketball colleagues and friends, they were all, LeBron, when they shoot the basket, LeBron for 3! And I was annoyed by that so much. And Miroslav often mentioned to you guys the name Inat. Inat is like spite, and out of spite, everybody was for LeBron. I was like, screw you guys, I'm going home. And homies, the Denver Nuggets. And I got stuck with Nug Life, man. It's not easy, but it's who I am.
Nug Life chose you, brother. Chose you.
I love it. I love it.
And then even like when Carmelo left, I still stick with it. I fell in love with the city, although I've never been there, but I would like to come. And I didn't have any Croatian connection with Denver, but I still stuck with Nuggets. And like one of my favorite moments or seasons for the Nuggets were actually those years straight after Carmelo left, like 2011-12 season and 12-13, because nobody believed in the Nuggets. And I still remember when Melo was traded, there was like a few players going out, like Anthony Carter, Carmelo Anthony, Chauncey Billups, and Costa Koufos, Timofey Mozgov, Felton, and Chandler coming in, and we had like 7 or 8 active players, and we were playing against I think Memphis Grizzlies at home with Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph, and they were big favorites, and everybody thought the Nuggets would lose, and the Nuggets won that game with like bench mob, and I was like, I'm sticking with this team, they're my guys.
I love it, man. I do love it. I love all these people too. Like, there's been a real. I know you're Croatian, so if I keep saying Serbian here, really the region, right? We're talking about the Balkan. There's like this Mile High City Balkan alliance that has been formed, and of course we've talked. I mean, hopefully this pandemic is over by this September, because our plan is to go on a big giant pilgrimage, all of us, and I could see like all these people in the comments saying like, I need to get out there, I need to go. I actually have been to Croatia one time, very briefly. So there you go.
Where did you go?
If I could have bet money that Adam would have said that at some point on this podcast, I didn't even know that was true, but I just assumed it would come up.
I have also been to Croatia, and it's a lovely place.
Well, you should go back there right now, Cal.
Flex hour.
I have not
Go to
been to Croatia.
I thought I was Serbian. What's going on now?
All right, so what do you make? We've talked a little bit about this. We also should know that he is a star of the Nuggets Europe Serbia podcast now, right? It's a very, very similar thing to what we have going on here, just in Serbian. So I tune it every now and then. Don't understand it, but want to also give you the pub there. But now just give us your take on this off season, man. We've been talking about it.
I just remember something, if I can add.
Sure.
So.
It's your show,
by all means.
Yeah, Miroslav and Mislav chose pretty similar names, And since I'm following you guys, I noticed like in this spring during the quarantine time, you posted like today we will have a guest at MCUK, like Miroslav. And usually, usually that's my like email at something name, and I was like, wait. first of all, guys, you misspelled my name and Miroslav, and secondly, you didn't invite me.
Was that the first time you'd met Miroslav? Did we introduce you in that
Look at
way?
this.
I know.
Yeah, creating love in the Balkans, guys. And then I opened his handle. It's like Miroslavchuk, I'm Mislavchuk. I was like, is this like my imposter? Like, what's going on? You know.
It was meant to be. I mean, above all, the friendship was meant to be.
Yeah. Then I contacted him, and I noticed that he is doing some Nuggets talk on Twitter. So he invited me once as a guest just to share my ice cave story and stuff like that. And then I took over, and you just did that, Adam, so the same. I mean, baby, I'm not going anywhere.
Who could move you if they wanted to? You're 6'8".
You also have another Colorado connection, I know, because you mentioned this on Twitter from time to time, but you're a big South Park guy.
Yes.
And you had... That was like I was handing the ball to you. You just passed it right back. That was a real like, well, okay.
The ball is popping. The ball is popping. Okay,
The ball is popping.
Yeah. So one of my questions for you guys was, do you think that Nikola Jokic will ever end up on a South Park episode?
It's a great question,
A lock.
dude.
This is
such
a
good question.
lock.
This is a lock.
Yeah, they're Nuggets fans.
Are they? I guess that's true. We get the South Park intro at the game sometimes.
Right. Yeah, we need
You
to
know
get
what? It is a lock.
We need to get them on the show. I wonder if they would like.
I'm sure they're watching. Trey, Matt,
Yeah, I'm
please.
sure they are. Get with our people. Get with our people. I don't even know how you.
Well, I
get
mean,
a hold
we've
of
got
them.
Kata lined up, but we'll slot you in after that. By the way, RIP to the Kata appearance, which I really thought was gaining steam, but I guess not.
It would have been a very popular show for sure.
Lindsay's coming to get out of the chat, Lindsay. Get out of here. You got work to do. Get back to work.
Go sell something, Lindsay.
So I honestly, I'm taking this question seriously. There's a lock. Like they had Will Barton on, didn't they? This last season, like they didn't have him on, but they had a Will Barton. They had his number in his jersey for some reason. I think Jokic is a lock. I wouldn't even be surprised if he was featured in the storyline. Like there's
Like
a storyline.
Randy and Nicola became buddies.
Yeah, something of that nature.
There's a lot there. There's a lot.
I
creative
think,
enough,
I think the storyline should be Nikola Jokic saves the entire world from the coronavirus pandemic. I feel like that would be a very fitting for South Park.
Yo.
It's a strong pitch. It's a really strong pitch. Bull also, it would be a great addition.
Yeah.
Bull, another lock for the Nuggets.
Yeah,
for
another
South
lock.
Park.
All right, what is your other question? You had a couple questions for us. What else do you want to go here?
So I wanted to tell you some funny story from Croatia, if you want. It's NBA related. You remember Glenn Big Baby Davis?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So his career is done by a long time, but
I actually saw him just playing in a Twitter video.
He looked great.
Yeah, it was Glenn. Emphasis on the big. Davis.
Yeah,
he's
so
still
when,
going.
You know, when NBA players are washed, they try to go to China. When they are too washed for China, they try to score in some European clubs that are like lower level. And so we have Zadar in Croatia. It's a beautiful city, and it's also like the basketball city of Croatia. They
Sorry,
were
what's
much
it
better-
called, brother? I lost that there.
Zadar.
Okay.
Zadar.
Yes, on the Adriatic Sea. So next to the island I spent my summers on. So usually they were like a big club, but financial problems caused them to go way down. And anyways, they reached out to Glenn Davis to come and play for them, and they made a verbal deal. So he came, and the fans there are very crazy. You know, they went to the airport to wait for him, like they were making chants and slogans for him, like "Big Baby," you know. And the first thing he did, where do you think the first thing he went when he landed in Zadar?
He went out to dinner. I'm guessing.
Yes, he went to the McDonald's.
That's awesome.
Gotta get a Happy Meal for a big baby.
Of course. And the fans bought him many burgers, and like he was so excited to have the support. He even posted some stuff on his Instagram. And then when he was gone in 2 days.
Because of the burgers?
No, when he realized that he has to practice.
That's it.
He has to practice 2 times per day, and that was too much for him. And also, like, Zadar
That
was
man knew what he
playing
wanted at that
in
stage
the-
of his life.
Zadar
It
was
wasn't
playing in
practice.
the Adriatic League, and then you have to travel to Belgrade, to Bosnia, to Serbia, to Slovenia, and it's like bus rides of 5-6 hours, and he was like, "No, man, I'm out. You know?
I like
Didn't
that
do
he
that
didn't know
research
this.
before.
Yeah, no
I know,
research.
he just arrived and was like, "Oh, wait, I have to like ride a bus and practice." Like I thought. I was just
Stop
out
at the
here.
McDonald's real quick. That's awesome.
And I have one more nugget for you. So when there was a lockout season, not lockdown. Now is lockdown season. Lockout season was 2011, and Ty Lawson was playing in Europe in Lithuanian club. And,
Cakes on the low.
What?
No, sorry.
Cakes from the low.
Cakes on the low, baby.
It took me some time to understand what was he saying, but
I still
Me-
don't.
me
I don't
too.
fully understand. We don't know exactly what he's saying, but we have a good idea. But
there was a post in Facebook group like Nuggets Nation. Somebody screenshotted that, and I said like, guys, I'm not from America. I don't know what is he saying. Can somebody translate this to me? And then somebody said, well, basically he's saying he didn't believe the Chinese ladies would have nice bottoms, but he realized they actually do have nice
They
bottoms.
actually do have
and
nice
he
bottoms,
started
yeah.
to change his mind about
That's
it.
right. Yeah.
that's how. That's exactly how.
That's exactly what happened. Good stuff.
Gentleman
That explanation is impeccable. That's exactly what it is.
You are a
There's
treasure,
a,
Ice Cave guy. You're an absolute treasure.
little nugget
I'm
for
a
you.
golden nugget. And anyways, Ty Lawson, so he came to Zagreb to play for Žalgiris. Zagreb is capital of Croatia, and we had a EuroLeague team. And I was in the crowds in the first line. Everybody was cheering like for the homeboys, and he was in the opposing team. And I was like, Ty, Lawson. And Lawson is a pretty hard name to pronounce, to yell, you know, like, Lawson. Everybody was like looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, and even he didn't like acknowledge me at all. And I was like, you're done. You're done for me, man.
You're
And
dead to me.
After
how
that,
it
like,
works.
his career just went down.
Oh wow! So having the ice cave guy on your side, really good, really big for your stock.
Thank God he's on our side.
Thank God. Thank God
The
he's on
only,
our side.
like, I support, like, most of the Nuggets players, even those that are hated, like, the only player, like, that I never got around with was my Bosnian fellow, Yusuf Nurkic. Like, we are neighboring countries, and I love Bosnians, but I really didn't like his character. He was always, like, I didn't like it. He was not belonging in the Nuggets culture. And
Yeah,
that's
he was not a
like,
true Denver Nugget. No
He
way.
wasn't.
I still see his Damian Lillard holding his phone, and then when Nurkic was injured last season, 2019, and then he shows the phone to the camera, and there is like Yusuf Nurkic waving, and I was like, "This will haunt you back, man. This will haunt you back."
All right, we have I want to show a couple other videos before we go to our first break here, but we have. Everybody has to unmute themselves. But look at this. This is how cold it is in the ice cave. Look at this shirt.
Oh my god.
Which also, like, what are you doing to our shirt, bro?
Expanding it.
So how cold can it get in that ice cave?
You guys count in Fahrenheit, right?
Yeah, we need you to convert this to Fahrenheit.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
I'm googling now, so if I'm typing too hard, and I'm sorry. Wait.
Vote will get on you. Vote doesn't like the sound of a keyboard.
Shut up, Eric.
I see a comment here by Ryan Coningsbury. If you want to put that up on the screen, I'd like to respond to it, if you wouldn't mind. Screw you, Ryan! Screw you! Saying that D-line should be replaced with Ice Cave Guy permanently. He's
I
not
don't know.
wrong.
He is
He's
the
not
ice
wrong.
cave. He is the D line of the the
Serbian
Nuggets
podcast.
Serbian podcast.
Do they know you're Croatian? Because you snuck onto that podcast.
That's true.
Yeah, but like,
That's what threw
Croatian
me
and
off.
The Croatian and Serbian are like basically like the same languages with some like variety and differences. But often I start to speak like I start to use some Serbian words with them, like trojka. They say for the 3-point. In Croatia we say trica, and then I know I got to see that I'm starting to
this
use
is
some
like
of
that.
their words, like to get accepted by my Serbian fellas. And shout out to my Serbian boys, Milan, Miroslav, and Voja. You already had
Shout out.
Miroslav. Voja was already there, and like next in the line is Milan. Like he's dying to meet you guys.
Go, Milan.
I'm
yeah.
vouching for Milan. Like he is crazy for you guys.
That's my guy. Milan's the man.
I do have, before we take our first break, this first segment I know go a little long. We do have a special presentation today of Birdmen.
A special presentation of
A special present.
Bird friend, come.
But look at this, man. He is a man of nature. A man of nature here on Mislav. Look at this. Eating right from your hand.
Okay.
That's
Clarification.
incredible.
You are one with the
Clarification.
wildlife, one with the nature.
Okay, I will ruin my own coolness by that, but all the birds there, it's called the Siberian jay, and if you just put something in your hand, and they will come to your hand and eat from that. And this was not a good example because I didn't bring any bird seeds, so I gave the bird a Kit Kat. And then
Probably not the healthiest option. But.
Not recommended, actually.
Just killed the bird. I mean, he's dead.
Bird died.
she came back for more, so I
Yeah,
okay,
she's
yeah.
probably coming back for more like still.
The Jays
Yeah,
are
I
really
think she
big
has
fans of
diabetes
Kit Kat.
now, but so my vegan friend she burned me for that. So
All right, let's take our first break. On the other side, you're going to help us with a little pronunciation. You're going to tell us a little bit, give us maybe a little bit more of your insight into some of the Nugget stuff that's
I'll be
happened.
Italian also today. I'm Serbian, Croatian. Now I'm gonna be Italian.
Wait,
Yes.
I
Aren't
mean,
you
I-
Argentinian? I don't understand this.
I feel like I feel like our graphic work early on should make it clear that all of the European countries are the same country to us. Serbia, Croatia,
United
it's all
Nations of
Serbian corner to
Europe.
us.
All right, I really got to nail these reads because I think we've got Lindsay, our sales director, watching.
Oh, boy.
So
Oh, you better nail this.
really got to nail these
You ad
guys.
copy. You better get it right, buddy.
Yeah. First off, this Friday, mark your calendar, set your alarm, set a reminder, whatever you need to do. We're having a Black Friday sale on
Oh my
DNVR.
goodness.
This is
I needed more hype
a
music
sale.
for this one.
This is a sale for the ages, a sale for the generation. Get up to 80% off the entire DNVR store. Shirts, hats,
No one told me.
sweatshirts, masks, everything designed by that guy in the upper right of your screen, D-Line. Get up to 80% off the entire DNVR Locker. This is a crazy deal. I don't think we've ever done a deal like this. Also, if you spend $75 pre-tax, we will also give you a $15 gift card that you can apply starting Tuesday, December 1st in the DNVR Locker. Last but not least, when you sign up for an annual membership for $59.99, you get a $60 gift card to the DNVR Locker. This gift card will also be applied starting Tuesday, December 1st to any purchase. So
It's gonna be a huge deal.
this
Again,
is
I'm
an
telling you,
incredible deal.
Friday,
Yeah.
So
Friday
we-
you're gonna want to spend some coin.
So wait a minute, are we just tossing out free memberships essentially? Like you get
Basically, is
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
I say this on the show all the time. You are like actively losing money by not subscribing and not taking advantage of these awesome deals with DNVR.
Tons of
I don't-
content coming
yeah.
up over the next month too. Content faucet going back on.
Yeah. This is going to be the time to get in with a DNVR membership. And I know we have a lot of people who just pop into this show on YouTube, on Periscope. Tons of written content behind the paywall as well.
There's
so
more. There's more
you can
going
get that
on.
as well. Yeah, there's a lot more than just this show. I know that's hard to believe.
but who cares?
Yeah, we'll have
Also,
to get
we should tease-
Mislav
we should
takes
al-
on that.
We should also tease that probably some of the podcast stuff will be going behind the paywall. Not a lot, but just a small portion of it. So if you don't
Yeah.
want to miss out on all the stuff we're
Yeah.
doing.
One more real quick, Adam. We've got DraftKings because 'tis the season for giving, and to celebrate the start of the most joyous time of year, DraftKings, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is giving all players the opportunity to cash in on a no-brainer this Thanksgiving. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you a chance to double your money if either Baltimore or Pittsburgh scores a touchdown in Thursday night's game. That's all it takes to double your money. One
I'm
touchdown.
gonna go ahead and say that'll probably happen. I'm betting it will happen. My
This is
money's on it.
This is another one of those absolutely can't miss offers from DraftKings. What was the last one? Like Kansas City has to
Lose by 100 points.
yeah.
Or
They're like a
And I
plus
think they were still
100.
gonna pay
Yeah.
out anyway.
Yeah. So this is like absolutely can't miss from DraftKings. All you have to do is opt into the promotion, place your bet, and then sit back and watch the ball enter the end zone. Easy as pie. Make sure to download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code DNVR when you sign up and get this can't-miss offer. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you the chance to double your money if either Pittsburgh or Baltimore scores a touchdown in Thursday night's game. That's right. All it takes is one touchdown, and you double your money when you use promo code DNVR during sign-up for a limited time, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Yeah, they're hemorrhaging money with this.
How do you profit? They're just like, would you like money? What about you? All you gotta do is sign up.
Those deals are the best, though. You just gotta like sit there and wait for them and pray.
Those are the launching pad deals. Like you're like they want you to get in, and then you have like a nice little. They call it house money. Then you start playing with house money. It's great.
For sure.
I'm a proud DNVR subscriber, guys.
Let's go.
Ice Cave guy.
Ice Cave member.
All right, Ice Cave guy. So the Nuggets got a new player from Argentina, Facundo Campazzo.
Oh no, Adam!
I had to say it wrong so I could be corrected here. I have to be corrected.
Okay, so I'm here. So guys, like I heard that Adam is saying Campazzo many times, even though Miroslav told you 10 times it's Campazzo.
He's never told me. Has he told
Campazzo.
us? I don't think he's told us.
Yes, I was watching him in the show. He was saying, but you all guys forgot. Never mind. I'm here. Okay, Harrison is still doing good, but I came here like to show you. So I was Serbian today, Croatian, now I'm Italian and Argentinian, probably. Well, Italians are my neighbors, so I like to do some graphic design, so I wanted to show you. Okay. Maybe it will be easier with the photo.
Good stuff. Yep, that's perfect.
I have no idea what's going on. Kufis,
So,
I see.
airflow.
Oh, no.
This is how it exits your mouth.
Inside the mouth? Okay,
This
wow.
is
Yes. Kufas is just a note. I'm trying to get to the Kufas part. Okay, so this is the tongue.
A tongue?
Is that a
Yes.
mouth?
There's airflow and teeth and top jaw. Dude, this doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so wait. This is.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's remarkable. But it doesn't
Hey,
work
look at this
all.
beautiful work. No, okay. So when you say s, like you're blowing your air out, your
S.
tongue is down. But when you say ts, your tongue goes up. But tip of your tongue is pressing the top of the back of your top teeth.
Campazzo.
Wait, so I watched the YouTube video about how to pronounce Italian ts, and therefore I'm an expert, maybe almost a scientist.
Yeah, wait a minute. So you're coming on having just fresh off YouTube video. This isn't something that you just inherently knew. You could have just sent us the link.
I'm the no.
You have to draw the diagram.
I'm the dealer of the information. So basically, some tongue practice how to say this. Why is this mirroring image?
The diagram's not doing anything, man.
It's really not.
I just gotta. Yeah. I love it. It's just not doing anything.
Anyways, Campazzo.
That's all I'll say.
Campazzo. You have to go like this with your fingers when you say it.
Campazzo.
It's a spicy meatball.
Bella ragazza.
Okay, well, let's get in. People want to know about the power rankings now, the Western. You can help us with this, Ice Cave guy. Like, yeah, the basketball portion of this basketball show. So, all right, hey, Vo, you have compiled your list. Rather than have us all do it, you're just going to have one wrong list that we can critique.
Perfect.
And we're going to start in reverse order here because the West. Here's the thing. The West, I think there's two things that are disappointing about the Denver Nuggets this offseason. They lost Jeremy Grant, and other teams got better. I think if you took those things aside, those are two big things to take aside, but like everything else there should be a lot more optimism around Denver, in my opinion. But let's look at some of those teams that got better and kind of power ranking. But I guess we can start with the teams that maybe got worse.
Reverse order. Okay, so listen, guys, I have 5 tiers. I split this into tiers.
I do too.
In this 5th tier, bringing up the rear, I have the Sacramento Kings.
The worst team.
Look, man, there are not a lot of like really horrible teams in the West. There's like a couple contenders for this. One of the teams I have in this tier has a lot more talent than Sacramento, but outside of Sacramento, guys, I also have San Antonio in there.
Oh my God, why San Antonio?
Because they're just not that good. And then
pull up San Antonio's roster here. So I mean, they're bringing everybody back.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah, I mean, you got Trey Lyles still growing.
I think the
Murray,
biggest
White,
argument.
DeRozan, Aldridge, and Pirtle.
Yeah, I just don't think this team got any better, guys. And I think teams around them
Vassell?
did.
Anyone? Devin Vassell?
What'd you say?
One of the greatest picks of the draft, Devin Vassell.
Devin
but
Vassell, not going to help right away.
Spurs. He's not going to play. Yeah,
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
Like MPJ.
You think that? So you think this is the second worst team in the West?
Wow.
I do.
I think Kings were in my bottom tier for sure. Was there another team in this bottom tier?
I have another one in there, and I have Minnesota in there.
Minnesota.
Who I think is
yeah.
more talent than the other two teams for sure, but I just don't like. If you look at all the pieces, man, they just paid Malik Beasley. They've got D'Angelo Russell, Karl Anthony Towns. They just drafted Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, right? They took. Like, do you have a lot of confidence that these guys spread the ball around, play the game the right way, commit to the defensive end, that KAT and D'Angelo are leaders? This is a stacked Western Conference. I think they lose a lot of games.
They've got talent for sure.
Yeah.
But the difference between them and another team in my bottom tier, which is the Oklahoma City Thunder,
Yeah,
one
that's
team,
Thunder,
team, the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to be trying to win. The Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be trying to lose, and they have
That's
the
true.
roster to try to lose too.
Look at all those players they have. Admiral Schofield. Like, they've got so many.
Admiral Schofield.
Remember him? I mean, he was a guy Nuggets fans wanted because he did
the interview.
He did the interview and he was just jacked and just awesome, like a cool.
Doesn't that
There's a
sound like
guy from
that sounds
the
like? Oh, go ahead.
Prison Break guy.
Admiral, but it sounds like a cheap liquor. Like
Admiral Schofield. It does
Admiral
definitely.
Schofield.
It
Yeah.
definitely does.
You buy it
It's
in the
below
gas station.
Captain.
It's Captain Morgan and
Captain
Admiral.
Morgan.
You go to the store and you come back with Admiral Schofield. Everyone's upset.
Oh, come on, man!
You're like, dude, where's my change? Yeah, thanks for the booze. Where's my change?
I have my first change to the tier already because I actually straight up did forget about the Thunder. It's the one team I forgot to group in there. I would put the Thunder in there for Mini, and I would bump Mini up to that next tier.
So, Mini, go back to their roster because here's the thing about Mini. I actually think. Do you guys know Ricky?
Why are we
Rubio
calling
is-
them mini?
I don't know.
I've never
It's cute.
referred to them as mini in my entire
It's adorable.
Yeah, it is adorable. The diminutive. So Ricky Rubio, I think for one, is a really good player and makes them a better team. So to me, they go to the top of that tier for me.
Yeah.
I do think Malik Beasley, if he could stay out of trouble, can be a positive. Like he should
he
be
was
even better. He was really
amazing.
good when he was there. Same goes for Towns and Russell should still be on the incline. But here's the big one. You're judging regular Juancho Hernan-Gomez. That's not who they're getting on this new deal. They're getting superstar Juancho Hernan-Gomez.
Well,
That's,
that's
right.
right.
Movie star.
Movie star.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a chance that Minnesota, to me, they're at the top of this bottom tier, which isn't saying much.
Yes, I would say that they're either at the top or the bottom of the next tier up.
So just to be clear, you're saying any Hollywood connection automatically vaults you up NBA rankings. So like anybody that appears in Space Jam 2 should be taken seriously from here on out.
Absolutely not. This is solely about Juancho Hernan-Gomez.
Just Juancho, okay.
This is
So
solely
we
about
got
Juancho.
the Kings, the Thunder, the Spurs, and then Mini at the top of that tier. Unless
Okay.
you want to bump Mini up a tier.
I think that's probably fits. What about Ice Cave guy, Minnesota or San Antonio? Who's going to have a better record? Who's going to be a better team?
If you put Greg Popovich on Minnesota bench, I would say Minnesota. Like, it's gonna be a big battle at the low. I don't know. I think Minnesota has more talent with Cat there. I'm saying Minnesota is gonna be up from the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay. All right.
Minnesota looks good, man. When I'm looking at their team, they look good.
Do they have their draft pick this year, Minnesota? Someone in the comments said they don't. I'm going to check that.
The thing about Minnesota is that
I think it goes
they're
to
like-
the Warriors.
they're a little snake bit, man. Like there's some talent on there, but then also like the West is so good. As we start to get into the other ones, like they're talented, but I just don't think they're going to be better than these other teams. Let's go to the next tier.
Yeah, so obviously some of these rosters might not be fully up to date, but we can sort of work our way through it. Next tier, this was a really hard one to actually sort of parse out.
Go one at a time. Do the worst of this next tier.
I think the worst of this next tier is the New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay.
Nope.
I had them there
NOP.
too.
Nope.
I think, they're a more competitive team than they were last year. You got to be really excited to see Zion and Steven Adams next to each other. That's going to be no fun
Yo,
hanging with those
There's
two
a lot,
dudes.
a lot of thickness in that front court.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah,
how do
watch
the Knicks
that.
have 10 times the number of players as the New Orleans Pelicans?
I know
What's going on here?
Does anyone object to that Pelicans placement, though? It seems right to me.
I think I have them one spot higher.
Okay.
I think I probably would have had Memphis below them. But Ice Cave Guy, what's your read on Zion Williamson? Are you a fan? Are you buying that he's this dominant player? What are your thoughts?
Well, he is dominant, definitely. Like he moves like he's like Zach LaVine, and he looks like he's, let's say, Dwight Howard. So it's pretty unique, natural stuff there. But the injury is the main concern, of course. But I wish him all the best to be the second team on the West. Oh, it rhymes, because the Nuggets are the number one. But he can be in the Western Conference Finals. I will allow him that.
You've granted him access to be the runner-up in the West. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with it. Who would be by the way, this is a side note, but who would be the Ice Cave Guy of the NBA?
Steven Adams.
I was gonna say Steven Adams is a real chat to this. Once I found out you're 6'8", you're a beast.
You don't know me pretty well.
What is that?
That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah.
You're right.
No, I'm not. I'm Nikola Jokic. I'm Jokic.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
I mean,
if I may say so myself.
Yeah, if I had to pick one.
It's funny. We're all Jokic. This is so wild.
Yeah, I like to think of myself as Jokic in a way
I'm
as well.
quite the Jokic.
No, okay. I can be. No, I don't know. Birdman was one of my favorite players
I can
in
see
the
that.
Nuggets uniform, and Corey Brewer also.
Yeah,
he loves
you strike
Brewer.
me as a real Corey Brewer type.
He is, dude. He loves that guy.
Smiling.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
just like body doubles. The two of them.
No, that's yeah. The two Corey Brewers, same as my weight. So, anyways, go ahead. I'll.
Okay.
These next two teams grouped in with New Orleans, I think a lot of people might sort of have them in different orders. I think they're fairly interchangeable. Coming in next, I have Memphis.
Yeah, I had those reversed, but I think that's correct.
So I think Memphis is going to compete, I think, for that last playoff spot.
They have a lot of guys too. Look at that.
They do.
Yeah, what is it
Coming
these
back
teams
another
with
year
30
with the
players?
kids. I just think they're going to be
Porter too.
competitive.
Is he healthy? Jonte Porter. He's gonna play this year, right?
I thought they let
He
him
just
go.
got an extension, John Taylor.
He did.
Yeah. It's good. Right spot
No,
on. He knew it was something.
By the way, the Memphis had Denver Nuggets draft Twitters, like dream draft. They got
Right.
Desmond Tilley. Who did they get? Xavier Tillman, and
got
then they
Bane.
picked up. And then they picked Desmond Bane,
Yeah.
Xavier Tillman, and then they picked up Killian Tilly, undrafted. So that's just like a draft nerd's dream right there.
Yeah,
Good team.
yeah.
It's a good team, but I don't think. I don't know if they're a shoe-in for the playoffs. I think they'll compete for those last two spots pretty competitively.
I want to hear this last one because there's one more in your tier here, in this tier.
Yes,
I want
two.
to hear it.
Actually. I have
Two more in this tier. Okay, let's hear them.
The Phoenix Suns.
Man, I have them a tier up,
Wow.
guys. I have them a tier up. I'm
I-
worried about the Suns now, guys.
Yeah, that seems like going too far. Like, I think it's definitely fair that they're a
Okay, I'm going to
good
give you a
team
hint.
now.
This is in alphabetical order.
Yeah, you
so I'll
should,
give you a. So then it makes it easier to find once you realize that.
Yeah,
Is
before you-
Phoenix on the screen? Thank you.
Yes. Before you start scrolling, you can, if you're confused, you can sing the song to yourself. A, B, C.
It really helps if you do that.
Okay, so you guys think Phoenix is a tier up. I just don't see it yet. I think they're going to be very good. I think they edge out the sort of like Memphis and the New Orleans of the world, but I still think they're a few pieces away from being anywhere near like those top 6-ish teams out west. But
Did they
give them
have? Did they have any real like genuinely impressive wins in the bubble? That's 8-0, or were they?
Well,
kind
if
of
you
playing-
remember, they were against a bunch of good teams, but if you remember, it was a bunch of teams that were like not trying to win.
Not
Like,
trying to win.
But so a little bit, but it's hard to say. I just think they're a good team, though. I mean, well, first of all, Chris Paul, I think it's just so massively underrated the impact he had. I mean, nobody was predicting Oklahoma City to make the playoffs last year, and then of course look at how well they did. And then, but sometimes the Nuggets were the opposite. The first guy in for Denver, other than Gary Harris, was Jokic, who was the core, right? the Suns are a team that have added all the other pieces but didn't have that core piece, and I think Chris Paul's that guy. Like, he's almost instantly makes all those guys be able to do what they do. Are you
I mean, their floor is so much higher, and they were a team that's been better than their record for a few seasons now. I think they're going to be a very good team, a very tough out, and a very tough regular season loss. But I just don't know if they're good enough to make that leap yet.
What I love about Phoenix is that with Chris Paul and also with the Jay Crowder signing, they've just like totally kind of transformed just like the toughness level of that team. Like that team's going to try to punch you in the mouth with those two guys. They're not going to be afraid of you. They're not going to be scared of you. They're not going to back down. So they're serious. I think they're serious this year.
So they got just a bunch of guys I like. Like, I really like Javon Carter.
Another tough guy.
Another tough guy. You got Bridges, who they extended, by the way. And then you got Cam Johnson. You got Jalen Smith. I don't know. That was a weird fit. Dario Saric, I like. Frank Kaminsky's like a really good backup. So I think they just have a bunch of dudes, man.
Cam Johnson.
What do you think, Ice Cave Guy? Are you buying the Suns?
I will use my spot time to avoid the Phoenix talk. I have a nugget for you if you want. Random stuff, and then I will let you go back. So when I was an elf in Lapland, we were working mostly with the British tourists, with British kids, and then there was and I speak like American English. Let's say I learned it like that way. And British people have their own accent, which is harder to understand, especially when they're kids. You can't understand them anything. And then my elf name was Chili, and the little guy came to me like, "Hey, Chili," like blah blah blah. And I asked him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Oh, my name is Chavez." And then I understood Chavez, like Hugo Chavez from Venezuela. Okay. And I was like, "Why is a British kid named Chavez?" And then I was calling him Chavez the full week he was there. And then on the last day I saw his name on the list, and it was Travis. Travis. So I called
Hugo Travis.
I called by the dictator's name a little kid. So that was my spot time. I will let you do your NBA work.
That was much better than talking about the Suns, if we're being completely honest.
I know. I was waiting for it to come back to the Nuggets, but then when it didn't, I was totally fine with it.
Okay, so I think there's probably one big team everyone's expecting to be in this tier, but I think people might disagree with me on which team it is. So at the top of this tier, and if you're thinking of it this way, snaking that last playoff spot, the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, knew they were coming. Wow. I actually have the Suns a better. I am more afraid of the Phoenix Suns than I am of this Warriors team.
Me too.
I don't know if that's a crazy take, but
just look at this Warriors roster, guys. Like
it's
not great.
It's
certainly not great.
Chris, Damian Lee, Michael Mulder. They added Kelly Oubre. Like, they're going to be playing like a lot of these guys. Brad Wanamaker, like he's decent, but they're going to be relying on a lot of these guys for serious minutes.
The Clay thing just killed it, man. It just killed it. So I don't know. I do wonder what Wiseman looks like. I mean, he's a rookie, and I just think rookie bigs he's going to have a hard time.
Highly unlikely he contributes.
But he's a really good prospect. I just don't know if it's going to come together for this year.
Exactly. It's like great that they got him, but does it equal a lot of wins?
It is crazy when you look at their roster. Like the last year, it was like essentially this same roster, and you were like, well, whatever. They're just a placeholder till they come back, and like then they don't come back, and this is just who they are, and you're like, oh no. Yeah.
I mean,
oh no, man.
If I was to tell you that the Warriors like might miss the playoffs this season, is that hot of a take?
No, it's not. That's what I'm telling
you. I don't think so. Yeah.
And I think the Suns are this is to me, I think is the biggest sort of argument. Maybe Memphis gets in there too. I hear you guys that it could be Phoenix. I just felt like I needed to see Golden State be really bad for a few more months before I just wrote Steph off.
Wait, Kelly Oubre's on Golden State?
I hear you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kelly, he ended up on. Chart his travels here. He went from Phoenix. I thought then he went to Dallas. He didn't go straight to Golden State, did he?
No, I believe he did.
Oh,
I believe he did.
Okay.
So yeah,
should we hit a break because that's the end of that tier, so we can wrap it up on the
with
other
the last
side
three
here.
tiers. Yep.
All right. Harrison, why don't we take? I don't want any reggae. What are we doing here, Adam? Come on. All right, we'll go here.
Some Ice Cave music.
Make it
I don't have any Ice Cave music.
This is perfect for MSU Denver Online. This is what I think of when I think of MSU Denver Online.
This is the MSU Denver vibe?
This is the vibe. Yo, guys, so MSU Denver Online, those teachers who teach at MSU Denver Online have been teaching online forever. They know how to teach courses online. They know how to get the content across to you in an engaging manner online. And online school, online education is the only option we've got. So if you're looking to take a class, go back to school, go to college for the first time, why wouldn't you go with the teachers and the education that have been teaching online for this entire time? They've mastered the art of online education. So check out their entire course list, msudenver.edu/online. It's a great experience. A lot of your teachers there actually work in the field of the classes that you're taking, so it's a great networking opportunity too. So check them out today. Also, make sure to download and subscribe. Give a 5-star rating to the DNVR Rugby Podcast. Colton Strickler covers the rugby scene in Colorado and Denver for us. He's got a great podcast, the DNVR Rugby Podcast. He also writes content online at thednvr.com. So make sure to check out our rugby content in both those areas on thednvr.com and also on the DNVR Rugby Podcast.
I gotta say, I'm impressed with us. We have moved up a tier ourselves. Like now we're getting just general Lakers hate in the comments.
Haters.
Like, just mentioning the Lakers
By the way,
exist.
shout out to our
never
commenters who are the best fact checkers. Kelly Oubre by way of OKC.
Yeah, that's right. I remember he went to
By way of
OKC.
OKC,
How did he end up in Golden State then? I'm so
It was
confused.
a double trade. Like, yeah, they traded him and then they traded him over. So
Okay.
It was the
Yeah,
trade
so-
exception. The good old trade exception that Golden State used, right?
all right.
right,
Okay,
quick-
so now we're getting into
ahead.
these top 2 tiers, right? Are we two? No, the top 3 tiers.
Top 3 tiers. Yep.
We have 3 tiers to go here. Okay.
All right, quick recap if you missed it. I have the Warriors sneaking into that last playoff spot. Some pushback from the guys who like Phoenix. We'll go down to my 3rd tier. At the bottom of this 4-team tier, I think definitively at the bottom of this tier, but I couldn't bring it in myself to drop them. It's the Houston Rockets, who I think are in some hot water with their title chances, but James Harden's still on the roster. I think this team's going to win a ton of games.
I don't know, man. You know, here's the thing. This is the first year the Houston Rockets have kind of gone into this, I think, knowing they're not going to win the title.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I think they could be competitive. Maybe there's a trade that re-energizes them. But if you're the Houston Rockets, don't if you're James Harden, you're in the prime of your career, don't you kind of feel like, yo, I've had some good teams and we haven't gotten it done. And now I have this team with a new coach and a new GM and people don't really want to be here, including myself. That just alone knocks them down a giant, giant peg, man. They feel like they've always been that soulless team, but to me they feel like the team that just even they don't.
Yo, they're like, I mean, they put together this like rocket ship,
Yeah.
and now they are captainless and rudderless. Like they had their grand plan come together exactly how they wanted it to, and then it didn't work, and then the architect of the grand plan just left, and then
the head coach
the
is
captain
gone.
is gone.
Yeah.
So now, like, what are they left with? Somebody has to come in and like try and make sense of this like nonsensical, ridiculous roster. Like they're.
Don't underestimate James Harden just gearing up for an MVP run. You know what I mean? Like if the season's
I guess
lost,
so.
it's not going to stop him
But
from
you know
scoring
what?
30 a game.
He's always tried to go for the MVP and the win. MVP first, win second. This might be the year where it's like MVP at the expense of everything.
right.
I'm
Oh my
going
God.
for 40 points per game, man.
Do you think that what are the chances that James Harden is on the opening day roster for the Houston Rockets?
I think it's done. I think it's
high.
Probably pretty good.
Done,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
That's going to be an exquisitely loathable team. That
Do
is
you-
whatever the opposite of a league pass must.
right. That's
is,
so true.
the
Can we just pretend they don't exist? Ice Cave Guy, what's your take on the Houston Rockets?
Do you want my take on the Houston Rockets, or do you want another Ice Cave Guy Nugget?
Ice King Guy Nuggets.
I'm going to choose the Nuggets. I'll just keep it real with you guys.
You want, man?
Okay, I will use my screen time to address my buddy Lindsay. She sent a comment previously. She would like to hear Ice Cave Guy talk about Grant, but I'm not doing any Grant rant.
So,
I-
any suggestion that comes from anyone, you're just taking it and eschewing it. You're just doing whatever you want.
No, I want to address that I respect all the Nuggets players except Nurkic. and I respect what they are doing. And if he wanted to chase the Detroit Pistons dreams, okay. And I think that's the great opportunity for MPJ to show us, like, can he do it or not? Like, I think Nuggets are now like a storage ward episode. Like, we bought in, and then now we need to unpack, the boxes.
Yes, that is
at
so
the back.
good.
Yeah,
That's so
see,
good,
like,
Ice Cube.
is it worth it? Like, can MPJ do it? Can Ball do it? And then we'll know, like, did we lose or we didn't? I hope
Man.
there will be some, like, hidden nugget in the back of that storage called Ball and MPJ.
I love
A+
it. The
analogy.
Nugget- The Nuggets bias is real. Do you guys understand what this show is?
This is a Nugget show.
You got us red-handed. You got us, man. Wow, burn.
Also, we haven't said a word about the Nuggets.
It didn't even come up yet.
Who we all thought had a bad offseason. Look, it's not crazy that the Warriors missed the playoffs. For the record, Andrew, I have them in, but like the good players aren't on the team, so that's a problem.
I see definitely the bouncer at this.
We literally have not even mentioned the goddamn Nuggets, so we're getting flamed.
Okay,
all right, well, let's keep it moving.
so Houston Rockets, I think, are the most arguable team in this tier. I would have thought some people would have pushed back with Golden State being ahead of Houston. We'll see. Next up, I have the Utah Jazz, who I go back and forth every day on how good they are. Because on one hand, they win games and they almost beat the Nuggets.
Is this
And
in
on
the same tier? Are we still in the same tier?
Yes, the Houston
Okay.
tier.
Yeah,
And on the other
wow.
hand, I look at their roster and sometimes I just think it's not that good. So I go back and forth on Utah a lot. I don't know what you guys think.
I'm just so glad that Conley's shot didn't go in, so we get to say these things. Like
I know, because
they
that's
don't
really
impress
blasphemous for
much.
me to say right now.
Shot
But I
was
feel like you guys
fantastic.
kind of know what I mean. Like I'm not
know.
actually burying Utah, but there's just an element of like, is that team really gonna like win? You know?
So I felt like last year they got better offensively, but they were weaker defense. Obviously, the numbers bear this out, but weaker defensively and specifically against Jokic. Now that they bring Favors back as a backup center, I feel like they also just is now capable of combating some of your bigger lineups. So now they have a little bit of the best of both the last two seasons. I'm high on the Utah Jazz. I think they're really good. They are in the tier. For me, they move up a tier from the Houston Rockets, but they're, to me, how you put together this next tier, which to me includes the Denver Nuggets, you have no arguments from me. All these teams are really, really good, and I could see any of them. So I'm sorry, I'm a Utah Jazz respecter on this show. I hate to admit it, guys. It didn't feel good to say.
Oh, it's good pushback. I mean, I think it's like I could honestly see how someone wants to look at Utah and kind of take it either way, like a little further than the last person. It's a roster that I think is up to interpretation. Like they could mess around and bounce the Nuggets, so I'm really not trashing them.
Right.
I think tiers 2 and 1 are like contenders or sort of quasi contenders, and it just feels like a stretch for Utah to me.
Well,
Did
the
you guys
Jazz
see the
were
report?
cruising last year until Bogdanovich went down, of course, and they
Right.
just are pretty much running it back, but also got Derek Favors. Like
What is
Adam
up with
said.
What's up with Bogdanovich? Is he still hurt?
I don't know when he'll be healthy again. Oh, wait.
You have an insider. So Bojan Bogdanovic, the Croatian bogey.
Yeah.
I think he's still recovering. He was in Croatia and Herzegovina during the summer, and he was recovering. But I saw some photos of him still wearing the thing around his wrist. But during the season, he should be fine.
So
And I see a comment here. There's only 8 playoff spots. Not really. There's 10. I mean, that's part of
I
this
guess
whole
that's
equation. Is there's a play-in tournament this year between 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay.
So people have been talking about how everyone around the Nuggets got good. Are we saying that, or got improved? Are we saying that the Utah improved because they added Derek Favors?
I do think that makes him better, specifically
Yes.
against Denver.
Yes.
So yes.
Really? I mean, like Derek Favors has been in the league. He was part of the conversation for the Carmelo Anthony trade.
Look,
You
man,
remember that?
Jokic is. I think most Nuggets fans would really feel like when Jokic struggled with that Utah matchup, it was
yeah.
Favors and Gobert. You know.
Yo, I don't know, man. Like to me, I think of Derek Favors in the same tier as Paul Millsap. Like they were both like really formidable, but like I don't know if adding either one to your team like makes you a better team so much as it just.
Well, I think they're good. Also, you get Mike Conley now a little bit more familiar. I was going to say, the one thing on here, I loved I can't remember who tweeted it out, Woj or Shams or somebody, but it was like, one name that's getting a lot of buzz right now in free agency, Emmanuel Mudiay. And I was like, we're 5 days into free agency, man. Chris Haynes, like, we're 5 days into this. If he's not signed, there's no buzz about him. Like, we can't spin. Everybody tries to spin these things.
We got to go a little quicker here, I think, Adam, as we're getting closer to the end. I figured Utah would be arguable, by the way. I didn't really feel comfortable about that. And now that I say these next two teams, I probably feel like I shorted them a little.
Okay.
But next two, respectively, the Dallas Mavericks and then the Portland Trailblazers, who I think had a killer offseason.
Yeah, they did.
They did have a good offseason.
Is it a
Portland
hot take if I have Portland at the
uncomfortably good.
top of this tier? Does that feel like
I don't think so. I have them at the top.
No.
I have them number one.
But I have more teams in this tier that you haven't mentioned, so I have them above all those teams as well. So Portland's good, man. I think Portland's in the stage where every year they're missing a big piece. It was Nurkic a couple years ago. Right now they have you have a full season. Again, if they all stay healthy, of Nurkic, McCollum, Lillard, and now you add Covington. Like, that's a good team, man. I'm sorry, I'm buying stock in Portland. I think they're very good this year.
Yeah, Portland was just dormant all of last year with injury. And then not only do they get back to where they were, flaming people to get into that playoff spot, but then they also add Robert Covington, which is like everything the Nuggets fan base has ever wanted them to do. It's like, so it had to be that guy. It had to be that goddamn player, didn't it? It couldn't have been just like another formidable power forward. It had to be Robert Covington. Oh.
And then they get Harry Giles too, which is just like a fun guy. Guys want.
Even worse, and they got Cantor. So we're gonna have we match up in the playoffs. You're gonna have Nurkic. You're gonna have Cantor. You're gonna have Gary Trent Jr., who I love, but he's like an annoying. And they've got Melo. They got Rodney Hood. I'm telling you guys, it's a bummer. I hate that they are a team that I'm like worried about, but they are.
Hopefully they still have Hassan Whiteside by the time the playoffs are all around.
By the way, the Mavericks also could be great. I might be underselling the Mavs here, but they're in this tier. They're in the jump.
I'm going to flip. Actually, I'm going to put Utah ahead of Dallas, though. That was an overzealous jump for Dallas, I think.
All right.
Probably. Like, they still have to earn it. I know the offense was great, but okay. So that does it for my. So I have two tiers left.
Oh wow!
So I'm ready for tier 2. And the bottom team in tier 2 is the Denver Nuggets.
No.
Oh, so I was a little late on it. Okay. So tier 2, who's the top? The Clippers are the top team.
That's correct.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Do we have a little bit of this like Freudian complex here of something where we just never can admit that we're good? Because how are the Clippers ahead of the Nuggets?
So I
didn't
the
we have
way
a
I actually did
contest
it,
to determine this? And
so the way I actually, yeah, man, I know, but Denver also was an 8-second violation away from not making that round. So we could do this all day. Look, I'm with you. I actually I still like Denver, but the way I started this was who's going to win sort of like regular season games. That's sort of the way I started with it.
Oh, okay.
I still think the Clippers are going to get that 2 seed again, or it seems likely to me. And then the playoff floor, specifically in the matchup with the Clippers, that was very, very close, no matter how hard they melted down. When you lose Jeremy Grant, I think it's a lot harder to just say confidently, yeah, the Nuggets are better than the Clippers. If they play that series again, do the Nuggets win? I don't know. I think it's very close, but I give a small edge to the Clippers after the Nuggets losing. They're really they're only 2 wings. So,
is it a hot take if I say, oh, of course Kawhi and Paul George will stay healthy in a shortened offseason and a condensed 72-game season playing every other day? That's probably no concern at all, as is their growth in leadership. I'm sure that they're massively different people from what they were last year because that was the big issue. I think that Clippers team, to me, they're like Denver in that they're 2 of the more volatile teams, I think. Like Denver because of their unbalanced roster, just how so much rests on Michael Porter. But the Clippers, to me, are a team that if they get off to a tough start, or if that locker room just doesn't feel like they have growth from Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, or if those guys start pointing the finger when other players aren't stepping up, I think they're a very, very volatile team. I'm not afraid of the Clippers.
I have a take. Can I jump in?
Please.
With a question. So, if we have time.
Okay.
So we know that Nuggets are nurturing this culture of nice guys. We have a nice attitude among the teammates, but everybody has a regular douchebag in their team.
Yeah,
And
douchebags.
we had like the full Clippers team to choose one douchebag to come and be the Nugget douchebag, and we picked the only good one. Like Zubats and Green were like the nicest guys there. do you think that it's maybe time for the Nuggets like to have some bad boy attitude to join us?
Well, here, just to counter you directly, the Los Angeles Clippers chock full of douchebags. Douchebags
That's true.
from top to bottom. And
Right, that's
what
true.
happened?
Yeah, it doesn't always.
I wonder if the Nuggets
a
did
little
pick up
bit.
a bad boy this offseason. A 5'11" bad boy.
Campazzo?
Facundo
Campazzo?
Campazzo.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys saw. I tweeted out a clip of this. It almost looks like a sped up Sombor shuffle. Campazzo shooting, like doing this double spin move into this 3-pointer. At the end of it, he's like talking shit. He's stomping his feet on the ground. I wonder if he's got a little bad boy energy about him.
Oh, I like it.
He does, but he's not like the American douche. He doesn't have the douche. He doesn't have the respect among his douche peers in the league. You know.
Yeah, It's important. It's
problem.
important. It's important to seek out and get the approval of your douche peers.
The
Everyone knows
Nuggets
that.
are also like mentally tough. They've proven that. So
Yeah,
maybe
it's
they're
true.
not. Maybe they're not like Marcus Morris tough. But again, I just don't know if that matters.
Marcus
as
Morris,
much.
yeah, but then what happened?
Exactly.
Paul
That's the
Millsap.
point.
And
yeah.
then he pissed off Millsap.
You guys want to know who another trash talker is? RJ Hampton, man. If you go watch his high school clips, after every bucket, he just like tries to clown whoever he was playing. I think he's like a super trash talker.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Campazzo, I cannot wait.
So
by the
Nuggets
way,
3,
like-
Clippers 2.
And that's a narrow margin, and the Nuggets could easily usurp them there. And I understand they just won the series. I just think after that offseason, it's a little harder. And then number one, who cares? We'll
there's
talk
Yeah,
about it.
screw it.
We
F
already
it.
got through all the lists. So we made it through
Yeah.
the entire 15 teams.
Well,
Wow.
list is
Every
over.
team in the West. Wow,
Incredible.
it's incredible.
Ice Cave guy, you were fantastic, man. Thanks for
Well, we're
gracing
done.
us with your presence.
I'm just starting.
You can you can just keep your camera on and keep talking. We're all going to drop out. Obviously, we'll end the show, but by all means, don't stop.
And I just want to, special shout out to our haters that watched the whole show with us. Thanks for
I
the
know.
view. We appreciate it.
Come at us, bro. Every day at noon.
Those a-holes are going to downvote, which means you guys need to go and upvote or put the
Upvote.
thumbs up. What is it
Upvote the
called?
video.
Like the video. Hit subscribe button as well, guys. We do this every day. We have fun. We're going to be back again tomorrow. It'll be our last one of this week. And guess what, guys? It's our last show of the off season because next week it's on season.
What?
No.
Oh, wow. What a note to end that show on.
That was a great note. It's on season, baby. Back. We back.
It's just the season.